Hi, welcome to my new YouTube video. In this video, I'll be discussing about the hierarchical inheritance. Up to now, we have covered single level inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and we have hierarchical inheritance, and finally hybrid inheritance. So this is the last second. So after that, we'll be completing the another one hybrid. After that, inheritance topic will be finished. Up to now. I will be making some examples and problems on that topics. So let's move on to first what is meant by hierarchical inheritance. So we already know that what is meant by basic example of inheritance. So that is simple, that is deriving a class data from another class. So that is inheritance. So what is different from normal inheritance versus hierarchical inheritance? So I have drawn a simple example of what is meant by hierarchical inheritance. So this is my base class. So whatever the data present in my base class can be shared by more than one derived classes. Sorry. So once again, I'll repeating. So whatever the data present in my base class can be shared by more than one derived classes. So such concept is called as hierarchical inheritance. We have known that in single inheritance, only derived class is going to take the data from base class. So this is called as my, for example, if I'm drawing. So if I'm drawing a line like this, so this is my single level inheritance, as well as if I'm drawing another line, this becomes my another single level inheritance. So this part is called as one single level inheritance, as well as this is also my single level inheritance. But here I'm using one base class. I'm going to retrieve the data from a base class, right? So this is called as hierarchical inheritance. So how we are going to perform? Similarly, this is same. So we just have to use two objects to take the data from base class. Here one object and here one object. So with this object, we are going to retrieve the data from base class, and here another object we are going to retrieve the data from another base class. So this is the simple concept of hierarchical inheritance. So once again, the basic definition is the property of deriving more than one class. I mean, it is a property of, or we can call that is a function of deriving more than one deriving more than one class from a single base class. So such concept is called as hierarchical inheritance. So let's move on to a coding part. So I'll be taking the operations of an arithmetic, for example, addition or summation, or addition, multiplication, some subtraction. So let's move on. Hash include value stream using namespace std. So first, this is my base class, right? For example, if I'm using arithmetic operations x and y, I'll be adding, dividing, subtracting, and multiplication. So first, I'll be taking mm, so my values. So values will be stored in here, right? Integer. I have to use protected because I'm going to take the data from here, right? Integer a comma b in my public void get ab. So I'll have to read here itself. That is enter a and b, cin of a and b. So we have read a and b values. So I'm going to derive a class from my values class. So simple. This is my, for example, this is my sum class, and I'm going to derive from values class. So with the help of access specifier and inheritance operator and then values. So that's it. So here I'll be simply multiplying and returning the values integer, and let's say add. Looks good. So in my public void add here, sorry, x. So c out or x equals to a into b. So let me minimize this bar. Okay, I hope your it is visible now. Okay, this is my derived class, right, of some class, that is I can write as derived one, and then I'll print simply here itself, or add. I'll write add addition of a and br, that is my value is x. So similarly I'll copy this, I'll make another two classes. So this would be my subtraction, and I'll be taking the same values from my base class, and let us take this is my y, and this is my sum function, and y equals to my a minus b value, and sum of sorry, summation of subtraction of a and b are x. Okay, that looks good. After that I'll make another class, so this would be my multiply class, multiply. After that x y z, and this would be my mul, and value would be my a into b. So multiplication of a and b are multiplication of a and b are z. So that's it. Let me write handle at each and every cout. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. It's perfect. So we have derived three different classes, right, from a single base class is called as values. So from that values, I'll be taking the values, and then I'm going to use that values in my another derived class. So let's move on to our main function, integer main. First I'll create an object of sum for sum or add, right, something like that. Let me check. So yes, my first class is sum, and sum dot add. So sum is my class and s is my object, so s dot add. So that's it, perfect. And another is subtraction class, yes, sub of suv, su, and then su dot sum. What I have written there, haven't I written? Okay, sum, su dot sum. After that I'll create another object, multiply of m, and I'm going to call my member function m dot mul. So what I'm using is the values of my values present in my base class, that is a and b, that I'm going to use in my three different derived classes. That is first derived class is my sum, right? So I'm going to add here, that is that a and b will be added and then printed out, and then another class is my subtraction, and then here I'm going to use another object for subtraction. I'm going to retrieve the data of subtraction. After that, at last I'm going to use the multiply class, and then I'm going to multiply a and b, and then I'm going to print with the help of base class itself. So let's check it. Yep, everything looks perfect. So let's check. Just a second, guys. Okay, haven't I declared C in values? Sorry. After that sum, I have to call that, right? Before calling that function I have to read this. that is s dot get ab. Yes, get ab is my memo function, and then similarly su dot get and then m dot get. So every time I have to read the values of a and b, right? So this first a value is my 20 and b value is 10. Let's check. A and b values are 30, and I'm going to this is my subtraction function, this is my 200 and this is my 100. That is subtraction of 200 and 100 is 1, and 2 and 1, or I can do 10. So multiplication of a and b are 2 into 10, 20. So I hope you are clear what I'm telling you. That is, we are going to take the data from a base class. I can use that data in my any number of derived classes. So that is the concept of hierarchical inheritance. So that's it for the video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe.